Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Andrea Hawk, and I hope you all are having a wonderful Tuesday and you're ready to start on an awesome design prompt today. So I've got a fun one today. Starting to see some of you guys pop up in the chat. Good morning to all of you. Gaston, Miriam, Ittle Bitty. I don't think that's your real name, but hello, everyone. Let me know what you're excited about today. If you've got something fun planned this week, and if you have any questions throughout the stream, feel free to chat away there, and I'll be checking that throughout the stream. Cool, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop on over to Behance, our main homepage over here. This is where you can check back for all of our daily prompts, and just how the challenge works. So I'll quickly just run through this. Be sure, if you're not already registered, you definitely want to check this big blue button. And then each day at 8 a.m. you will get a prompt in your Creative Cloud app, desktop app in there. So what is the Daily Creative Challenge? If you guys don't already know, it's not a competition. There's no winners and losers. It's really just for your own benefit to chat with the community and receive feedback on your work and sharpen your skills, learn something new. So cool, yeah, every day we will be live at 11:30 Pacific, so be sure to stay tuned and keep checking back. So finally, the first one has appeared, yay. So today, what we're gonna be working on is interactive elements. So I want you guys to design a checklist for a habit tracking app that allows users to check and uncheck items. So designed for a habit building exercise, such as the XD Creative Challenge. So go ahead and click that Get Started button, and this will take you to our Dropbox link. So go ahead and just press download, direct download, and then this is what that file will give you, just a bunch of kind of things to help you get started. But I'll get into that in just a second. And then if you want to watch any of the replays, you can press this blue button down here. So like I mentioned, all of these will fill in with the prompts whenever each day occurs. And then be sure to subscribe if you want to be notified every 2 weeks of the new future challenges. Okay, cool. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Very fun one. Kind of like in the mindset of making a habit of our daily design work. So that's why I thought we'd do a habit tracking app. Now I want to click on over to Discord. So if you're not already a member, definitely sign up. This is a fun place where we all just gather and chat about everything design. So all of the channels are over here. A few important ones, I would say, are Creative Challenge, going live. So this is where just another place where we post all of the prompts if you missed it on the homepage. And then definitely Current Challenge. This is a big one. I know a lot of you guys have been posting about you're excited for today's challenge. So all of you guys, feel free to post, whether it's like screenshots or links to your new design, or just like work in progress work. That's totally fine. But definitely post your challenges here so we can give you feedback on your work if you would like it. And then be sure to introduce yourself as well. And then we've got the mentors over here, our Adobe folks and moderators, and then all of you guys underneath. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I've already got this pulled up. So this is that file that you can download on Dropbox, like I mentioned. So I kind of went through this a little bit yesterday, but these were blurred out so you guys couldn't see. I don't think I saw on Discord that anyone could tell, like even though they were blurred out, what the apps were. So yeah, like I mentioned, we're going to be doing a habit tracking app that allows users to check and uncheck items. So designed for a habit building exercise such as the XD Daily Challenge. And I want you to focus on adding interactive elements. So today I'll be showing you how to add checkboxes that can be checked and unchecked with the prototyping tab over here. But you can work on whatever other kind of interactive element you want. And then inspiration, these are a few that I found that I like them because they show different types of interactions, even though they're all habit tracking apps. So you normally just think of like checking and unchecking, but like this one has, maybe you have several different habits in a day and you want to see how many of them you've completed. Maybe it's a vertical or a horizontal line that shows you how much of that line you've completed. It could be checkboxes. It could be a toggle on or off like this one. So check those out. And then, of course, I went over all of these resources yesterday. So definitely feel free to get some icons, tutorials, photos, things like that from all of these links. And then we're going to share to Discord and Behance afterwards. So I already have a few artboards already drawn up here. So I made the backgrounds already gray just by clicking on it and then making a gray background with this fill because I wanted to be able to see my white kind of foreground here. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add a title. I've already got all my colors and some fonts chosen. So I'm going to say My Habits. Make this a bit bigger. Let's say like, I don't know, 72. It's a bit too big. Okay. That looks good. And my font is Sophia Pro, if you were wondering. You can get that from Adobe Fonts as well. And then I'm going to add a little like daily, like what day we're on, so you can flip around to the different days. And I want it to be like this, but I'll just show you guys how I made that. So just select a rectangle, and we're going to be using the repeat grid. So I want this to be like, actually I'll make it this color. Add a bit of the rounded corners, and then copy and paste this. And I'm going to add the day. So let's say it's the 5th. Make this a lot smaller so we can fit it in this box. Maybe it's, that's a little too light. Be like that. Copy and paste that. And I'm just going to do Monday through Friday since on the weekends I want to take a little break and not do any of my daily habits. So okay, so I'm going to group these, and then I'll do repeat grid, drag this over, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just make the spacing a little bit smaller. Oh wait, I didn't group these together. So I actually want to repeat grid all of those with the text in them. So 5 of those, and then I'll kind of squish these together, and I'll just go in and manually do this. So day 6, day 7, day 8, and day 9. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are for Thursday and Friday. Cool. Okay, that looks good. Maybe I'll make this a little bit smaller. Move that over so it's all left aligned. And then I'm going to copy and paste this. And I want this to be, this is just going to be like a kind of neat abstract looking accent color thing in the back. Doesn't really serve a purpose, but just like looking nice. So I'll make this in like the lower left corner, and then I want this corner to be just like 90 degrees. So I'll make, oh wait, actually it's this one. I'll make that 0. And then I also want the top left one. So there we go. It's kind of like just a neat little abstract shape. And then I already have just a few little elements down here that I already made just for the sake of time. But what I want to do here is these are each going to be like specific categories of my habits. So let's say like freelance, house, like my personal stuff, and maybe shopping. So I'm going to add each of those so we can categorize everything. Drag that up a bit. Copy and paste this. So I'll say freelance. Make this just white. And I want this to be pretty small, maybe like 20. Yeah, that looks good. And then I'll bring one of my icons up here. Actually, I want to save that down there, so I'll copy and paste it. Right there, okay. And then what I'm gonna do is on those left corners right there, I want it to be an indication of like how many tasks I have left. So I'm gonna just make it 90 degrees. And then I'm just gonna basically copy and paste all of these with different categories. So I'll say my home stuff, copy, paste that icon right there on the right, and then I'll copy and paste this text. So let's say Oh, I've got a lot. I've got a lot of home tasks. It can be 12 maybe. And copy and paste those and then paste them down here. So this one can be like shopping. You can make your own categories, of course, just whatever you think, and personal. And then we'll have maybe like 8 in personal and then 0 in shopping. We don't need to do any shopping. Okay, so I'll drag some more of these icons up here. So personal, maybe I want my habit to be like reading a book for 30 minutes each day. And shopping, I don't know, whatever recurring kind of tasks I would need for shopping. Okay, so next I'm going to move on to the checklist page. So let's say like this is my home page and I think that looks pretty good, but now I want to go into one of these categories and start like unchecking and checking all of those items. So I'm going to, let's say it's freelance. So I want this to be, I'm going to add a orange background, but I want to have a little bit of a border, just like a teensy bit. So it kind of like matches that same sort of abstract style, but I want to keep the orange color throughout since we're in the freelance category. And I'm a freelance designer now, so maybe I could actually use this. And then I want to, let's say this is like a drag up sort of thing. So we drag up from the bottom and we'll give it a title. We'll say freelance habits. Left align, maybe this is like 30. Yeah, I think that's good. And then, yeah, we definitely need a back arrow. So I'll put that in the top left with just a little circle behind it. And then I already have an arrow icon, so I will copy and paste that up here and then group those together. So I can go back to the home page. And then below that, actually up here, I'm going to add just a square that indicates like the icon, the same icon that we used on the home page. So just for the sake of time, I already made a little square with that same kind of shape. And then I'll copy and paste. Oh, it pasted on the white. Paste this right here. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. There we go, since that's what we're focusing on. And then below that, I'm going to make some check marks. Okay, so first I will start with all of the tasks. So let's say some daily tasks that as a freelance designer I need to do is like check all my emails. That's a big one. We'll make this like 20, maybe 10, and maybe it's this color. Okay, and then I'm going to make this a repeat grid. So just drag that down there, give it a little bit more spacing. Drag it up. And then I'll go in and add some more. So post to social media. Maybe send a newsletter and check expenses. And like monitor SEO. I don't do that, but something I probably should. And answer inquiries. There we go. Okay, and then I need to make this a little bit longer and then just give it a little more spacing so that inquiries isn't like falling off the edge there. Cool. Maybe I'll make this just a little bit. Looks a little big right now, so maybe 16. 16 is good. And a little bit less spacing. Okay. So now I'll go ahead and make the check marks. So again, we love that repeat grid, so I'm going to keep on using that. And we'll go with that orange color since we are on the freelance for orange. Stick with the rounded corners. This might be a little bit big. Let me zoom in a bit. Okay, and I'm just going to drag this over right here, repeat grid, and I'm going to try to align all these with the text. So this is a little bit too big of spacing. Let's see if this works a little better. Okay, perfect, that's good. So I'll drag this over. There we go. And group those. Okay. Okay, so that's good for the first one. So we haven't checked anything, and that's the beginning stage. And then the middle stage, we want to just copy all of these, paste them on this artboard, and it's nice to just paste everything in place. And then I'm going to start checking things off. So let's say we didn't check our emails, bummer, but we are going to post to our socials. So that task is done, and I'm going to add a filled in orange background, and I already have a check mark icon just for the sake of time, and we'll group those two together because I'm going to reuse that, so you could add that to your components panel. And then I'll just add a rectangle behind all of those, just another indicator of like, hey, I actually pressed this. Okay, that looks good. Maybe I'll drag this a little bit over. There we go. I think we need a little more spacing. Okay, I think that looks good. And let's continue on. So just copy, paste that over, and then we'll do the same for the one below that. So we did send our newsletter, so good for us. Let's add another check mark. And then same with the last one. Paste it over here, copy and paste, and then just drag that down, or drag both of them down rather. Okay, so that's good for today. I'm just gonna do a few screens. Don't feel like you have to build a whole app, obviously. The more the merrier, but if you don't have too much time, that's totally fine. So we've been working in the design tab. Let's go ahead and go on over to the prototype tab. So I just want to make sure we can click through each of these screens. So I'm going to select the freelance, since that's what we're going to be working in. I'll drag it over, and then I'm going to select the second box so we can check it. All right, and then I'll select the third box. Just keep on doing the same thing. So just drag it over. And for the interactions trigger, I'm just going to leave it on tap. I think that looks fine. The action transition, yeah, and dissolve, I think that's fine. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'll leave it on dissolve. And then we want to be able to go back. So let's add an interaction for that back arrow, back to the home page. Awesome. Okay, let's preview it, the best part of the whole design. Okay, so we tap freelance. We're on the freelance page. We want to post to socials, did that, send a newsletter, awesome, and we checked our expenses. And a fun thing you might want to add here is maybe like after you check off one of your tasks, you add a little bit of like confetti or like an illustration of like, you did it, good job, something like that. Just something fun. Also, I think one other thing that I want to add is just a little indicator that you can drag something up. So I'm going to go back to the design tab real quick and then just drag this over. So this is on iPhones, like when you swipe up, you can see just a little subtle line. So I'll make this the same color, so we're in the same color family, and then just make it pretty transparent. Okay. Make sure it's in the center. And copy. Paste it on all of these. Paste, paste. Oh no, and I haven't saved yet. I need to remember to save. I always just remember to save at the very end. Okay, let's preview that. Freelance, we go to freelance habits. We posted to socials, good job. We sent the newsletter and we checked our expenses. So not the most productive day, but at least we got a few things done. Okay, and then we can go back to home. Awesome. So now I'm going to save either Command S, or you can go up here to File, Save As. And then you can either, if you want to export like your movie file, all you do is press this circle button right here, and then just go through all of your, all of your clicks, and then just press press stop and save it as whatever you want, and that will save a movie file. So you can upload those to Behance too, which is really nice. So I'm gonna go over to my portfolio and add this. So I already have something started. I'll show you how I did that. So we went to my page. So I want it to look like this, just like the previous creative challenge that I already made. So I went over to drafts and just edit project. So I already started that. I added this header up here to indicate, I'm just going to add all of my days below this so we know this is the first day. I added the description. You definitely want to add a description. And then I did add the prototype that you can watch. And if you want to export anything, any of your artboards, all you do is select them, File, Export, Selected, and then you can say if you want PNG, SVG, all of that, you can export those. And then let's make a new folder. So we can say PNGs. Okay, and then export. Cool. So let's go back, and how you would upload those. Just hover over like whichever section you want to export, and then just click Insert Media, and then PNGs. And let's say I just want like this one, and maybe one other. I don't want to add too many. The third one. Okay, that looks good. So I'm gonna save and continue. And then I already uploaded a thumbnail, so that one looks good. Crop and continue. So this is the important part. You really want to add some keywords. So you can fill out all of these. So definitely creative fields so people can find you. So interaction design, UI UX, maybe let's see what else. Icon design or graphic design, whatever you want. And then click on over to display, that looks good. And then discoverability, this is where we're able to find your keywords. So just type in XD Daily Challenge. That is the keyword that we've been using for all of these challenges. And you can add a few more: UI, UX, mobile, etc. Add a little description. Maybe this is the XD Daily Creative Challenge in August. Check it out. Okay, and then I will publish. So let's see what it looks like. We'll check it. Make sure everything's down there. Awesome. So you guys can now come and give me feedback if you want to. Okay, so I'm going to check out a few of you guys' works. Now, I'm sure you guys haven't uploaded anything yet, but I'm going to look at some of the past challenges. Or if you have, that's very impressive. Like 30 minutes with me. Okay, so I'm just going to search XD Daily Challenge. That's how we look for everything. And let's look through a few of these. Oh, this one I really liked. This one was by Wakar Naik. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. I really like the layout here, and actually the red color. Normally the red is kind of like alarming, but I think it works really well here. And you just showed like all of your process, not just like the final result. So showing the colors, designing and prototyping, and then the actual prototype. So really well-rounded one. This is the food delivery. I love this one too. Awesome. Well, guys, that is about all the time that we have left. So thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you in the next one tomorrow at 11:30. Be sure to stay tuned for right after this. We've got James Hugh. He's going to be working in XD, working on design systems and creating a landing page. So thanks so much for joining, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.